Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, and with me today is a live streamer, a tips video maker, an unboxing pro, and an achievement hunter, if I'm right. Welcome to the podcast, ShinobiNado.
Hey, thanks for having me, Yemmy.
No, not a problem. All your links will be down in the description below, including Twitter and YouTube. How are you today?
I'm good, sir. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Got a little bit of a sore throat, but I'm working through it right now.
Oh, no. Nightmare.
Do you ever wake up in the morning with that giant snot bubble at the back of your throat? You just can't get it to go away. That's what I had this morning. It was awful.
You got that phlegm thing there.
Yeah. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about today was your Twitch channel, which is a little dormant right now, but you did get to affiliate on there. Why did you change over to YouTube?
Actually, I was YouTube first.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. So, well, technically speaking, I suppose when it comes to streaming, I was with Mixer first. I streamed for a retailer here called Game and Xbox UK, official kind of Microsoft subsidiary here.
Oh, really?
In
That's
the UK. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's the Game Masters UK program. They're an international program where Microsoft kind of auditions people to help promote Mixer and, well, originally Twitch, their Twitch channel, Mixer, and just gaming on Xbox in general.
I never knew that. That's pretty cool. That's cool of them. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was quite fun. I did it for a year and a half. I had to audition. We didn't get paid per se. We used to get like free games, so that was pretty cool. Xbox Live. Yeah, it wasn't like a professional streaming in that sense. It was a partnership. I think in America it would be like between Best Buy, GameStop, and Target and stuff. But in the UK we only have Game, so
okay.
Yeah, and then I just basically came up with the idea. We used to unbox things all the time in my shop, especially because I always used to get like the collector's edition. I have a bit of an addiction. I like shiny things. Yeah, and we used to just open them up and like do a Facebook Live or something, or a Twitter or a Periscope. Is it Periscope now? Yeah. And we decided like, why don't we like upload these? The store and everything wanted nothing to do with it, and so I, with permission, asked, well, I'll upload them and then you can use them on Twitter and that. Hence, ShinobiNando was born on YouTube.
So the shop didn't want anything to do with the promotion on YouTube, or?
No, they didn't want to create their own channel because they didn't want to
okay.
conflict with the headquarters channel.
Gotcha.
It's a bit hit and miss, but we'll not dive into that.
Well, I guess it's kind of worked out for you now because you're getting close to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I find YouTube really, really fun. I really enjoy, especially in the unboxings, I enjoy the skits bit, like coming up with a little skit in the beginning.
Yeah.
They used to be really long. I've tried to shorten them, add visual effects, but yeah. Editing, everything like that, I kind of like jumped in with no knowledge, and now it's funny how much you learn.
Yeah, I learned a lot on the go too. Yeah.
Yeah, watch YouTube to learn how to make YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. Although getting around the editing software has been a little bit of a challenge, but after I switched away from Movie Maker, I mean, it's been going pretty well.
Oh, you use Movie Maker as well when you started out? That's hilarious. I did.
Yeah. Yep, and I only changed
wow.
when I upgraded to my new computer because they don't have Movie Maker for the Windows, and it's like, oh, you can just use Photo to do what you could do in Movie Maker. No, not at all.
No. So what are you using?
I'm using Adobe Premiere now, so
Same.
I upgraded. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's got a it's one of those things like a lot of things that people. What's the expression people use? Easy to use, hard to master. I found Adobe hard to use and harder to master, but once you do, it's pretty amazing.
I'm not going to claim to be a master, but I can flip around it pretty fast. It was that initial learning curve, though, I think that really gets, the struggle is real, because there's really no, like, name for things on the screen. You have to kind of scroll over them and go, okay, so this is the clipping tool, this is the, cut tool, and you just kind of learn on the, like I said, you learn kind of on the go as you're doing things, as you have an idea for a video. You're learning how to layer things and remove green screens from things. So, really, it is a little bit difficult, but like you said, I mean, after you master it, you're good to go.
No, totally. It was just the jump between obviously something so simplistic as Windows Movie Maker,
right,
to something that's a professional editors would use on much larger channels. Adobe Premiere Pro. It was just kind of like you open it up for the first time, you're like, what is this? What is projects? What?
Yeah. So, I think we kind of already went over to why you, or actually we didn't go over why you switched from like live streaming on Twitch to, or are you still live streaming now, I should ask, because you were live streaming on Twitch. Are you live streaming now, or is it more just uploading videos, pre-made, edited videos?
So I'd still do Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Around 8 p.m. It's just Twitch kind of took a backseat as I took a closer step towards hitting 1,000. I was lucky that my second or third video when I first started YouTube hit 20,000 views.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, unboxings, they're really weird. So if anyone listens to this and want to do an unboxing, just be prepared. You will get like a flood of views the first week. Not very many. Like the subscriber to view count is very low because people just go for that one video and then kind of, oh, thank you for showing me that. Like maybe a comment and then maybe never visit your channel again, but you'll get that flurry of views. So like, yeah, I hit the monetization before February anyways, mark really early. So I was lucky there. But like I had a taste for streaming, and unfortunately for me anyways, on YouTube, because I was trying to do edited videos and then your live streams are kind of archived, and I didn't have the editing software or the PC to do like what other YouTubers do, download it, make a highlight reel. It was very kind of messy to have like a 3-hour stream completely unedited, in my opinion. Especially when I don't know. I just found it kind of like it set off like an OCD in me where I was like, I could cut out large gaps of things, but I can't because I can't download and edit it. Which is, I mean, a little secret is like even now, 2 years on into YouTube, I still use like my phone to film the live action things. So that's like how basic some of my equipment was starting out. Now I'm lucky I have a lot more tools at my disposal. But yeah, that's part of the reason to transition to Twitch. It was just easier. It was a lot of like the consoles themselves especially have obviously inbuilt apps to just stream straight away. You can just go live, whereas YouTube, again, I could only play PS4 games, which is cool because obviously PS4 had like, God of War, Spider-Man, stuff like that. So that's awesome. But a lot of my multiplayer games I still have on Xbox, mainly because I still have like 3 years free Xbox Live, and half of them were bought for me.
So do you still achievement hunt, or is that kind of taking a back seat right now?
To be honest, something quite funny is I actually prefer trophies. I love the platinum trophy thing. It's something Xbox doesn't do very well. You get 1000 G, and they used to give you like a badge on 360. You used to have like a page, didn't you? It was like a sash, Boy Scout sash.
I had 2 games on that. I had Modern Warfare 2 and the Lost video game for the movie for the TV series.
Oh no! God.
Yeah, it was bad.
I had like 70 on my old Canadian Xbox Live account, and then a good 30 on this one. But no, yeah, platinum trophies is where it's at for me now. So I kind of trophy hunt, not so much achievement hunt. I still try to get them. Right.
Yeah, I still do a little bit of trophy hunting myself. Actually, today I just 100%ed Spider-Man all the way, TLC and New Game Plus and everything. I was pretty happy about that.
Oh, really? You did the ultimate mode?
It actually wasn't that hard at all. Like, after you get to level 50, you get those, what are they called? Ultimate Spider-Man level ups where they just increase everything by 1%, and it wasn't that bad. Yeah. And I just kind of skipped all the side missions and stuff because you don't really need to do them. But, being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I had to go do the crimes in progress when they popped up because I'm not going to let the bad guys escape on those.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Like, it was ridiculous. I I had friends that were accidentally spoiling it, even though I got the game before them. I'm like, how am I ahead of you in the story? I'm like, because I have to rescue every pigeon. You don't understand.
Right.
I have to stop every crime before I go and see what Dr. Octopus is talking about. I don't care. That person. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I completely get where you're coming from. But yeah, that's quite cool. I've not touched the DLC yet. I'm kind of weird like that. Same reason why I don't play like when they were still a company, the Telltale games. I have to wait for them to all come out. I'll blitz the DLC once it's all 3 are out, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know a few people who are like that. Not so much on the the Spider-Man DLC, but I know when the Telltale games were going strong, I knew a lot of people who wanted to wait until that disc came out or the whole game was available to play it, because, and sometimes, the time between those episodes were like 3 months. It was crazy. But, yeah, I get where you come from on that, because I, too, would do that as well. Especially, I'd wait long enough for them to be free on PlayStation Plus, too, so I would get all 6 of them for free. It was nice.
Yeah, they definitely were. It was a shame about that company, but even Life is Strange, people were raving about it, and I waited completely till the physical edition comes. Not just because I wanted the physical edition. I don't know, maybe I'm too used to Netflix now. I could just binge everything at once. I don't like to wait. I'm impatient.
Yeah, that could be part of it, because I'm like that too, where Life is Strange I waited on. Before the Storm is the only one that I bought as soon as the first episode came out. I got the season pass, but for some reason I didn't play it. I played the first episode, and then I forgot about it.
Oh, see, I did something really stupid for myself. I don't think of it as stupid, just kind of the way I saw the story was different from all my friends. I played Before the Storm first, and then Life is Strange, because when I heard they were doing a prequel, I said, "Oh, I'll try." It's actually funnily stems from, this is gonna go off on a weird segue, but Star Wars. I always wanted to I always discussed it with friends, what would it be like if you experienced Star Wars for the first time from episode 1? Because then we were like, would it gradually get better? Would that be a better experience rather than have it kind of deteriorate over time? So I did it that way. So for me, Before the Storm is quite enough uplifting story about a girl coming of age, and then you open up Life is Strange. I was hit with a well of emotion of oh my god, what do you mean this is what happens? You can't do that to me after such a. So yeah, it was quite strange playing it out of order and waiting for all the, like you say, all the episodes to drop.
Yeah, I never thought of playing before. Well, I actually didn't. When Life is Strange was out, I didn't even know about Before the Storm. But it'd be a different experience to play Before the Storm first. Especially with everything that happens and throughout the games. And with the Star Wars thing, I mean that's an interesting thing, because I will never live that 1 through 3 not knowing that the Emperor, Palpatine's the Emperor, and Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker, etc., etc. And I mean, just thinking about kids nowadays who maybe are watching episode 1 through 9 or whatever it's going to be, that's a different way of watching it as me or you watch.
Well, yeah, for sure. My missus, I got her into it, and she refused to watch them, and then one day she watched the Family Guy ones, and she went, "Oh, they're not so bad." And then she tried watching it in chronological order, and for her, yeah, obviously the reveal that Luke Skywalker's father, was not a big deal for her. She knew that because they were born in the other. But like you say, the Palpatine thing was kind of what? Oh, it was him all along, and you're from our perspective, how could you not tell? He sounds so similar,
right?
Do it, all that. But yeah, it was and for her, like I said, it got progressively better. Where she didn't think, she thought number 1 was obviously bad, but not as bad as maybe we did, because we were comparing it to something from nostalgia on top of the fact that those movies are really good anyway. Made the prequels horrifically bad. But luckily meme worthy now. Almost every line in a prequel movie is meme worthy. Awesome.
I hate sand. It's coarse. Yeah.
And it gets everywhere.
Who knows? George Lucas must have been just high out of his mind while writing the script for these, because stuff like that happens, and then all of a sudden it's oh, the sand.
Well, I think the difference is in the original 3, because the studio didn't really trust him. He had like other directors and people to refer to and stuff like that, didn't he? Whereas like 1 to 3, I watched documentaries on it, and they had free reign, and he was surrounded by yes men.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're reading the script, and like even some of the actors, I believe they've admitted, they were like, "Well, you can't say no to George. George said this is how the scene has to go. That's how we did the scene. It's George Lucas. What were you gonna say to him? No, you don't know Star Wars." So
yeah, he created it. You can't say no to him.
And he's also apparently a really bad, like when it comes to dialogue, he's admitted in himself, he's a really bad cinematographer. Like he films, if you look back at it now, and even if you look at a documentary or like any YouTuber's breakdown, he films it like a soap opera, sorry. So like, the reverse shot. And it's like, that's why everyone's always sitting or like standing, walking to a window and then coming back.
Just the easiest thing to do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. He just preferred to get to the 45-minute lightsaber battles, apparently. So a teenager. Go on, sorry.
Well, like we said earlier, you're a big fan of collector's editions. Obviously, your channel has one unboxing pretty much every week, right? For a collector's edition. You recently did a Dragon Ball Z one, or no, that was a Naruto one. You did a Naruto one recently.
I did the Naruto one. I was lucky. Shop 2 sent it to me early, and I got it 2 days early only. That was before the game actually came out.
Oh,
it was just because the servers were down for so long. I thought like, hey, a celebration. Check it out. Check out the video again. And plus, it's on sale in the UK here, and I do have quite a few people that watch from the UK. It's like gone down to like 40 quid or something daft like that. So I thought like, I'll reshare it. If you guys like this collector's edition, get it what's on sale. I paid the full amount. You guys get it dirt cheap comparatively.
Right.
But yeah, the latest one was Fallout 76.
Oh, really?
It was the Power Armor edition, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that thing is huge. Absolutely massive. And I got a big head. And it fits perfectly. It's a bit big on my head even.
Wow. Well, hey, as long as it semi works. Did you end up getting the Pip-Boy from Fallout 4, or?
Of course.
I missed my chance to get that. I went to GameStop the next day, and they were like, "Nope, sorry, you can't pre-order. We've already taken all the orders we can." I'm like, "Really? You don't want to make money?"
Yeah. they decided to make like such a limited amount, and then Bethesda made a second match, didn't they? And even that sold out immediately. People were like on a massive Fallout hype before Fallout 4 came out.
So collector's editions for you, I mean, are they still worth it in your opinion? Do they have enough content in the price to make it worth buying?
So I've been saying this a lot in some of my videos. The Spider-Man one's a good one as an example. It is getting to the point where I have to be shocked almost on screen, and genuinely, I don't mean like I acted up, but like when I open it up and I open up the disc bit and I go, "Oh my god, there's a season pass in here." That used to be like such a standard in collector's editions. Like obviously because of the price, it's like you know what I mean. Like Ubisoft, as much as I like their games now, well, let's not get into the Division or anything like that, but the Assassin's Creed has made a big resurgence. It's a lot better now. It's quite funny that they do like a gold edition, but they don't include that in your collector's edition. But a game like Spider-Man will. Or Naruto, that was another one. It came with the season pass, so I think it's it's hard to say. Some collector's editions are cheaper than ever. They're like 90 quid instead of 100 and stupid amount, or I guess that'd be American. 110 instead of like 170, like Fallout or something like that. And they come with a season pass. They'll come with everything, and then it depends on the publisher. Completely, Yemmy. Really does. EA's notoriously bad. They won't even sell you the game with it. You're just buying the statue and the extras. They did that with Battlefield. They did that with was another one, Titanfall,
Mass Effect. They did
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
You got that. I got that 2 weeks early to unbox, and that was amazing to see. It comes with a steelbook, but no actual disc inside.
Right. That was huge back in the day. Like that had to be like the first one of its kind where the game didn't ship with the collector's edition. thank goodness I didn't get that. I ended up getting the regular edition because I was like, I don't know if this game's gonna be good.
Well, I got it digitally in the end.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I did. Played around with the Nomad. It was cool. I got to drive it around. But again, it was like, it's just it was just the Nomad. It was the same. Titanfall did a similar edition to Fallout 76. More expensive, but just the helmet. They had a wearable helmet for from the main character, but again, it was like £220 just the helmet. So where Bandai Namco, as much as people like say their online strategies, they criticize them. Like the Ni no Kuni collector's edition, not only was it not that expensive for a collect, it was full to the brim with things. It had the season pass, had the normal game, had a steelbook, had the music box, had the incredible vinyl. So yeah, I don't know. It's getting to a point where you kind of pick and choose depending on the franchise and the publisher, really. To answer your question, sorry for going on.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Do you think they should still include downloadable content on day one in collector's editions and or just in the game in general? When you buy it day one, you get that extra DLC, or?
So here's where here's where I'm divided, because as we just discussed, the amount of money you spend, you probably, and we're in the day and age of digital content, like you're saying, if you're spending enough money on a collector's edition, should you get an extra digital content as well? I mean, probably for how much they're charging you. But withholding it from normal customers that are buying the same edition, but penalizing them because they couldn't get it that day of release, probably no. I'd say no. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're already paying the extra. Yeah, in that case, yes, for the collectors. But for a standard edition where it's just like, well, you didn't come to GameStop at the midnight launch and buy it right then and then, so you don't get this special little card we're handing out, then that's where I'm like, paying the same amount, you should get the same thing, not penalized, really, because you couldn't get it that day.
Yeah, like, I think one of the worst offenders was Mass Effect 3. As much as I enjoyed that game, day one DLC was the Prothean DLC.
Yes,
and that's like an integral part of the game. Like, if you don't have it in there, you're missing a lot.
And he's such a great character as well.
Yeah, Javik is awesome.
Yeah. Throw him in the airlock. Throw him out the airlock. Yeah, I love. Yeah, amazing. It was a really good character. He had some cool powers. Again, maybe if you, like I said, the N7 edition, which was the more expensive version, if it was just in there like early access rather than such a long wait for the other people, like they couldn't even buy it, I believe. You couldn't even buy it separately until a couple of days. But like maybe holding it off there, again, you're paying for the top tier edition. I don't know. It's very, very gray area.
Yeah.
When you think of it, because you're paying so much for a collector's edition, you want something extra, and some people could argue the statue and everything else is the extra or the collector's edition exclusive, but something like a key piece of lore bugs me the wrong way. But then, if it's costumes in that, to answer your question, because I'm rambling here, if it's costumes or like skins or like Destiny 2 had like emotes, exotic emotes and exotic weapon ornaments. Yeah, if it's an integral mission or something that feels like it was, because it would have had to been cut from the game,
right?
Then definitely not. No, that's kind of, you're trying to cut something to force people to buy the bigger editions, essentially.
So what has been your favorite collector's edition that you've unboxed on the channel so far?
Do you mean like in terms of the video or the actual collector's edition itself?
Yeah, the actual stuff inside the collector's edition.
I mean, if I go for my first thought, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be probably Ni no Kuni. That was a really, really nice collector's edition. I like things that are different. Mostly every collector's edition will give you a statue. I have a statue. I'm looking right across from, I have Kratos, Naruto, even Spider-Man. But like to have something a bit different, like a music box like that. Like I don't use vinyl, but that vinyl, you could display it. It's really nice. the pop-up, what's it called, cover for it, the art book, everything like that. The game, anyways, I really loved it. So, and yeah, I'd say Ni no Kuni for this year. Yeah, I tend to go for the ones that are more unique though, like Wolfenstein. That was cool. You got an action figure. I mean, I'm a grown man. I don't know what I'm doing with an action figure, but it's something different rather than just kind of like a hunk of resin or plastic.
Yeah,
just sitting.
I mean, the whole marketing campaign for Wolfenstein was excellent. When I went to PAX West last year, they were showing the game off, and if you played the demo, you got a free strawberry milkshake with a collector's cup.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. And the milkshake was pretty good. It wasn't enough milkshake though. They only filled it up like 25%, and I was like, what the heck? But it's a cool cup. I don't use it because obviously collector's edition. Don't want to use the cup.
Keep it on the shelf, yeah.
Right.
Show it off. But yeah, see, I like little things. I like brilliant things like that. I think that's amazing. Because obviously the whole big thing was in the trailers and everything, the Nazi walking in while you're undercover, isn't it? That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
So that's a brilliant touch. I love marketing. Like marketing is always painful, I think, these days. It's very pushed. YouTube ads, everything. But things like that are kind of brilliant. If you're gonna do it that way. That reminds me, in Fallout, I don't know if you guys had it in GameStop, but Fallout 4 in the UK, I only remember because look at it. They gave us like masks and playing cards and the bobblehead and a t-shirt and poker chips from New Vegas, and that was just for turning up. Now that was Bethesda sent that out to game, I believe. That was really cool.
Yeah,
and
I didn't get any of that. I'm jealous now.
Yeah, they even some locations they even made like a free party, but like they would dress the nightclub, like obviously you pay for your drinks, I suppose, but they dressed the nightclub like the entrance was like a vault that you had to go into.
Huh. That's awesome. I wish they would do that around here. That'd be great. I'd probably go to more midnight releases.
It's kind of the double-edged sword of being in the UK, really. We're small enough that like if they're like, oh, it's in Manchester, even though it's a different city, it's not very far comparatively. Or like somewhere in the States and Canada, it could be like, oh right, it's Toronto, I live in Vancouver. Brilliant, I'm not going.
Yeah. Well, it's just another thing that you guys have that I will never see in America. The last thing I kind of wanted to talk about today was Destiny 2, because I think we have different opinions on this game, especially with the DLC and all that stuff. What are your thoughts on Destiny 2, and do you still play it?
I do still play it. I think Forsaken was quite good. I do understand people's criticisms of the game completely. I too got burnt out when Curse of Osiris came out. It was such a disappointment, especially after taking a break from the main game anyways, because it removed things from the first game. They didn't provide enough content for the second game. Bounties were gone, all sorts. It was very disappointing. I don't know if it's just... I was thinking about this as well because I'm playing Fallout 76. I don't know if I'm just very easygoing and willing to give game developers a second chance if I think there's going to be an improvement, which Forsaken there was. But I completely understand people being like, yeah, but I have to pay, what was it? It was in the US $40 to fix my game that I bought for $60. I completely get that standpoint. And I think it was good of Bungie in a way to include Curse of Osiris and Warmine into Forsaken. But again, that was like 2 weeks later, and then all they gave us was like an emote that I'm yet still to receive.
Really?
So Bungie, if you're listening.
Yeah, I've played through the game 3 times. Don't ask me how I did that with how much I don't like the game, but I went through it 3 times with each character to see if the game was any different than Destiny 1 in terms of content with each character, and I didn't feel like they changed the game enough, especially with a 3-year life cycle that the development team had. That they had pretty much all the same enemies in the game. They had pretty much the same layout of maps and stuff like that. There were some maps that were really small where you just kind of walk to your objective. it was those little things like that they took out, or they kept in, they copied and pasted pretty much, that I was like, I feel like I'm just playing the same game. And really, I really wanted Destiny, 2 to be something more than Destiny 1, because Destiny 1 was like a shell of a good game to me. I thought it had potential to be a good game, but then once Destiny 2 came out, it just felt like the same thing. And I was like, well, you didn't really elevate the game. You just kind of, the public events are really good. Like, I enjoy doing those because people kind of get together, you defeat a big boss, you get super cool loot. But the rest of the game was just kind of boring, mediocre to me, and I don't know how I played through it 3 times. I guess it was just the public events. I kept doing those until I leveled up my character and then blasted through the campaign.
And I completely get that. The only zone in the base game for me that was any really interesting, other than 1 or 2 missions on Titan, was the EDZ. I felt like that was big. That was different. We always wanted to see kind of a human city. The Cosmodrome for me was the opposite. I found that very boring until Rise of Iron. But yeah, in Titan, I like the setup of Titan, and then when you explore in Titan, you realize how small, like you say, and limited Titan actually is. The mission, when you go on the oncology, I don't know if you got that far. That was like the second planet you go to, and it's like the dome cities on there, and you thought, oh, maybe I'll get to no. You say, nope, you don't get to explore it. It just looks nice. There's a pretty skybox. I still play it now. Like I said, Forsaken, for me, fixed a lot. Even if you don't buy Forsaken, they fixed a lot of the mechanics. Obviously, you're not going to benefit from the new enemy types and the new locales, which are really, really well done. But, again, I don't know. It's like, I think being a Destiny fan is kind of like being a Bethesda fan at this point. It's not excusable, and you shouldn't accept it, but for some reason you accept the bugs in Fallout, if that makes sense. You kind of like, with Destiny, you're kind of like, oh, they'll fix it with the DLC. And I shouldn't be like that. I know I shouldn't. There's a part of me that's always going to be like, well, maybe if we didn't spend money on it, they'd fix it. I doubt Activision would close down Bungie, but you never know with Activision. So, like, vote with your wallet thing. It's very... I just like mindless games.
I think it's a fair comparison, because, like you said, a lot of people do ignore the bugs and game-breaking things that happen in Fallout games. Like, even though Fallout 76 has been a pretty smooth ride for me so far, I tend to ignore the game crashing on the cinematic the first time I started it up. It's like, okay, that happens to most games. But like I said, it's a fair comparison. I think it's a fair comparison. But I think Fallout 76 is kind of getting reamed right now, and a lot of times, or a lot of videos I watched, what people are saying blatantly isn't true.
Yes, I said this on Twitter as well. I completely agree with you that there is problems with Fallout 76, most definitely, no denying that. Like I said, I had to fight a boss for an hour. That is one of the Scorch Beasts, and they just kept on flying through the wall in a loop. So I just had to like shot, wait. But like, yeah, I saw like, especially not big outlets, but mid-tier YouTuber reviews. I found they were saying things like, "Oh, look at this! They introduced crafting and building in Fallout 4, and now I take this gun. Look, I can't even mod it, even though there's a crafting station." And you're kind of like, how much of the game did you play? Did you know you have to? Tells you scrap the weapons, you'll get mods. Like,
right.
So yeah, there's a lot of. I still get people ask me things like, "Oh, so is it just PvP all the time? You go around shooting each other like PUBG or something?" And I'm like, not at all. No, it's a weird hybrid of playing Fallout 4 online, basically.
And
what are your thoughts on it?
I'm actually enjoying the game a lot. Like, exploring this new area with someone else has definitely been a treat, I guess you would say. It's been really fun. Oh, I think my dog just perked up. It's been a lot of fun playing with my friend. We played it on Twitch. Let's see, what was it? Friday. Because we got it for $30 at Black Friday, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I mean, we've really enjoyed the game so far. I haven't really found any game-breaking bugs, except for it crashed when I first started it up, and it was a little bit of a hassle to get the live stream going again and get the people back, But other than that, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't met any downright dastardly people, because there were some level 50s in the early area where, most people are level 5 through 10. And it was before I had PvP unlocked, because I was level 3, and a group of the level 50s came over and started punching me, and I got really spooked. And now I realize why they were doing that, because, you can't do any damage to people lower than level 5. And I kind of laughed afterwards once I did get to level 5, and it said, no, now you can do PvP, blah, blah, blah. I wish they would have explained that beforehand, so I wouldn't have ran away and lost the things that I was doing. But
Yeah.
whatever. And then I also had a little bit of problem with doing quests with other people. You specifically yourself have to be there to press the button or listen to it, the thing you need to listen to, instead of it just being a group thing. Now, I understand if if I'm at the Vault 76 and my friend's doing a quest, all the way at the, wherever, and I'm not there. I get that if it doesn't work like that, but, the fact that I could be standing right next to him, yet I have to, specifically listen to the same thing, specifically touch the same thing, it's a little bit annoying there. But it's not annoying enough that I'm, harping on it,
No, like I said, it definitely has its problems. It's an online shared world survival shooter, whatever branch you want to put it. It's definitely not an MMO, but it's going to get patched. It's going to get free DLC. It will get better with time. I don't know if people have the patience for it. I mean, in order to get to the good quests, and see, this is where it bugs me, is I get people's criticisms, because when you start off the game, the first few quests are like, here's how you get food. And you're kind of like, come on, I've played Fallout. Who's this game for? This is for Fallout fans. Even if you didn't, my friend was saying yesterday, a simple message is just said, don't forget to drink water. You'll lose AP because you get dehydrated, rather than a 15-minute holotape going, right, run over here, collect water, go to the tinker station, boil it, da 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 da. I don't want to spoil anything for you, obviously. I don't know how far you are, but there are some good quests coming up. There's some good characters. I wouldn't say NPCs. There's some good characters in terms of voice acting and the story that's going on. Not great, but good.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are there, but again, it's my confliction with Destiny. With this game, it's I get if you played 20 hours and you're still kind of just wandering around aimlessly, especially if you're playing on your own, why you could be like, this game isn't very fun. Whereas if you're playing with friends and you're doing the main quest and the good side quests, again, you probably be like, oh, I don't know what you're on about. There is a bit of a story, and I'm learning about the formation of this group and that group. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I think people, the main thing, Yemmy, I think people have a problem with is, like I said, when people ask me what kind of game is this, they don't know what it was supposed to be. Some people assumed it was going to be, air quotes, Fallout 5. Or just Fallout New Vegas, a spin-off where it was your friend could join you, but it is going to be an entire Fallout single-player experience. Where if you knew, or if you prepped yourself expectations, this is a spin-off in the sense that it's a completely different genre, it's completely different type of game. It's a multiplayer experience. Most people I know that had that mindset going into it are enjoying it. They know what they were getting. They know what they paid.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really enjoying the game myself, and being a Fallout fan in general, I mean, it does feel like a Fallout game to me still. You're still in a wasteland, and you're still crafting and collecting things and doing side missions. And I really like I like the premise of this one, where you are the first vault to open. You need to kind of, activate these nuclear silos, of course, but it's more so create, life in this barren wasteland of a world that it used to be. And I really liked that. I think they could have done better with the opening, where you wake up after a party and everyone's already left. I feel like that was kind of like a cop-out for something else. Because, in Fallout 4, you're frozen, and then you wake up, 100 years in the future, and, now you're, in this weird world. And in Fallout 3, you lived life in the vault for however long, and you're walking out of the vault for the first time. And New Vegas kind of started off with a strange story as well, but this one just kind of seems lackluster. You kind of wake up, the party's already done. You don't see anyone else except for robots.
Did you not see anyone?
No, everyone was
so
gone.
Other people. I've started my character a few times. One because one completely glitched out the quest and it ceased to exist. But It depends when you join, I suppose, or who's joining online with you, creating a character. There was like 4 other people in the vault with me, so it wasn't like just my character overslept. So we were running around the vault together, doing emotes, stuff like that. That can happen.
Yeah, okay.
But which kind of, it was funky. It was cool, but again, yeah, I get what you mean. You're just following the voice of the overseer. And you can even miss out on going to her office if you just kind of rush through the opening.
Yeah.
As well.
I made sure to check every door to make sure it couldn't open, and there was one that you could.
That's Fallout, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, that's all the time I have today with ShinobiNado. I just want to thank him once again for coming onto the podcast, talking to me about a whole plethora of things. Like I said, all his links will be down in the description below, including Twitch now, because I didn't know that he was still using his Twitch, so I'm going to put the Twitch link down there below as well. And then also the end cards, there will be his YouTube channel, the latest unboxing video, and his Twitter will also be on the end screen as well. Shinobi, is there anything else you want to say before we end the podcast?
I just want to say thank you very much, Yemmy, for bringing me on board. I had a good conversation. I'm sorry if I waffled. I will say sorry a lot, guys. I am originally from Canada, so it's a bit of a joke we have over here in the UK that Canadians are more apologetic than the British. But yeah, thank you so much for having me, dude. And I look forward to your other podcasts in the future as well.
All right, not a problem. Glad you were on. It was a pleasure talking to you. And as always, I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.